My name is Patricia Ruze, and I am a co-sponsor of this project with Carrie Fraser. I'm also a physician, and I'm also a patient. And I mostly want to talk to you about my role as a patient. When I was 41, I was diagnosed with breast cancer, and I had my left breast removed. And then when I was 49, I had a recurrence of the breast cancer. And so at that point, I had a lymph node dissection. It was actually the second of lymph node dissections, and I had radiation therapy, and I had more surgery. So I found out that, in fact, I have a lot of risk factors for lymphedema. Is a problem where the lymphatics in usually a limb, usually the arm, don't drain lymphatic fluid. Most of my problem now is in my elbows. And if you can compare my left and right, you can see that this is really kind of big compared to the other side. And in fact, if you take my skin here, you see how that sort of sticks in there. That's called pitting edema, and that is one of the hallmarks. I have gone through various treatments to try to get rid of this. I did a treatment approach, which is called manual lymphatic drainage and bandaging. And what that consists of is doing some massage where you try to compress the arm so that you are in fact pushing the fluid back up into the lymphatics. This treatment also involves massaging what may remain in your lymph nodes. And then she did bandaging, which is another mainstream treatment. The bandaging involves putting a sleeve on the arm and then wrapping bandages around. I did this bandaging 24 hours a day for 5 weeks, and I have to say I think it was very effective. I got rid of most of the swelling that I have, and now this is really still my problem area. And of course, you know, my left arm and my right arm are different, but it's really greatly improved. The therapist either came to my house or I came there. We would spend about 45 minutes to an hour together every day for about 5 weeks. And the treatment initially involved the massage treatment, which is called manual drainage, and bandaging. And this is the bandaging, and I haven't really finished showing you the bandaging.
My question was,
and so she would apply the bandage. Oh, yes, that's right. Exactly. She'll apply the bandage, and then I would keep it on all night, and then I would go to work in the morning, and then I would usually go to the gym and take it off after my workout, take a shower, and then go back to her house, and she would do the massage and
so you had to
replace
time,
it.
You had to time your shower.
Oh, what a nuisance. And what a time-consuming thing.
Yeah.
And I have to say, if I didn't find this woman who, you know, was really very close, I don't think I could have taken all that time off from work. A little sleeve like this. This is one of them that I've cut. And this just protects your... Then you use this cottony stuff. All right? And this provides some cushioning. So you do this, and I'm not doing a very precise job because I don't want you to have to like sit and watch and watch and watch and watch. But basically,
it's like you're putting on a cast.
Well, it is like a cast, you know. And you can see I'm not doing this very tightly because this is not the compression part of it. But usually I would do 3 or 4 like this. Okay, so I would do more. I'm not going to do it right now.
So 3 or 4 layers of that.
Of this.
Wow.
And then what you do is you have these
ends up being a ½ an inch or so of padding, right? Something like that?
Yeah. Okay, so here is...
it's an ACE bandage.
Yeah, it is. It's actually not very elasticy like an ACE, though.
Oh, yeah.
See how that is? And I try to make it...
It's actually quite... It doesn't have a lot of give. It's very...
No, it doesn't have a lot of give. But one thing that's a little strange about it, and you know what I actually used to do too, I didn't do that here, is put a little bit of extra padding in certain areas. Sometimes you put an extra padding right here in the antecubital area, right at the
Does that
inner
need more
elbow.
Pressure, or because that
because
gets sore?
skin can break down.
Okay.
In order to maintain the benefits that I have from this treatment, I have a compression sleeve that which is a custom sleeve. They cost about $150 to $170, and these just provide some pressure on my arm to prevent the swelling from getting worse. At night, I have a different kind of sleeve that helps to maintain pressure in different areas, and I'm going to show you that sleeve in a minute.
All right, Patty, tell me about what you have to wear at night.
Okay, so I wanted to show you, this is my night sleeve. This is made by this company Solaris, and it's called a Solaris sleeve. And it kind of looks like a big oven mitt if you look at it. I'm going to put it on and show you how it is when I put it on. I have to tell you guys that this costs about $600. And it is something that I've been measured for. And it's pretty comfortable. It's not very comfortable in the summertime when it's really hot.
Different about this than the compression sleeve?
Oh, sure. Yeah. So this actually doesn't seem to work so much by providing compression with pressure around here. But this has little sort of, what would you call these?
Pits. Right, it has a foam inside it that has
yeah,
little pits
it's got
on the inside.
Little pieces, like little squares of foam.
Little nubs.
Yeah, like little coin-shaped things in there that when you might lie on it, or even just when it's like this, it provides variable pressure. So there's higher pressure in certain areas,
pressure.
Right?
Okay.
And so what that does is it supposedly breaks up areas where the fluid has, like for example, for me, I build up fluid here. And so if you have little areas here that's getting pressed in different places, that helps to break up the fluid and move it around. And then hopefully it's somehow getting moved up there.
But it's the same all over, even though your arm isn't the same all over.
That's correct.
You have some places where you would need it more.
Right.
And some
this
places
doesn't actually compensate for that.
Yeah. Okay. So you're never without a sleeve on?
Pretty much. I hate it.
Yeah.
I really hate it.
Okay.
You asked me what I would really wish for, which I think is a great question. I guess what I would really wish for is that there were some treatments that were effective enough to get rid of this problem.
I've read that there are machines that will do the drainage that the therapist did. Do you know anything about that?
Well, I've never used them personally. I have seen the machines. I know a woman who has one. She sits and reads a book in her house for 3 or 4 hours a day. And there's a machine that I think it is with compressed air. And it pushes air into these balloons. What would you call it? Bladders. I guess that there are bladders in this leg wrapping sleeve. If you go online, you can see all sorts of things.
So
and of course, these machines
up her leg.
Exactly. So it provides graduated pressure going up.
I guess.
Yeah, I think it does work, and
but it's very you have to be someone without a job, maybe, or.
Well, I don't know.
3 or 4 hours a day.
I could do it. Those machines cost, I don't know, what do we see, $15,000?
Yeah.
Something like that. So anyway, I've tried many different treatments, sort of alternative therapies like the shiatsu massage and some other treatments that I did in Africa. I've done the American mainstream treatment, which is the manual lymphatic drainage with the bandaging, and now I use these compression sleeves. I have my day sleeve and I have my night sleeve, and frankly I think that this approach is really not optimal, and I feel that lymphedema, which is really a very common problem for women who've had breast cancer, is not a it's not a medical problem which has been taken very seriously by the scientific community. I think the reason for that is partially because it's a woman's problem, primarily, but I think it's also because it's not a life-threatening problem. I have to say, though, it really does affect my life. I don't like the way it feels. I don't like to have to wear these sleeves. Also, have questions 5 times a day. Hey, doc, what happened to your arm? Hey, are you okay? Did you get hurt? So I don't like that, and I think it is a self-esteem issue for many breast cancer survivors. It's really not curable, and that is my situation right now. But I think it is possible for this to be under better control. What I need help with is there a better way? And I think that there are many different ways to think about this problem and to address this problem. I think it starts with diagnosis of the problem. I think that right now the way the problem is diagnosed is basically by taking measurements with a tape measure in millimeters at different parts of the arm and recognizing a difference between the two different sides. The whole measurement problem is something that could be a project or part of this project. I think there may be better ways, more accurate ways of measuring and diagnosing the problem. There are also more sophisticated medical equipment that involves electric pumps and different compression devices that people use for 4 or 5 hours a day to move the fluid in their arm. And then I think there's the issue of maintaining the progress that you've made through various treatments, which is kind of where I'm at and where I'm personally wishing I had a really good solution to.
But you think the bandaging is the most effective thing?
Well, it's the most effective thing that I've done.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, and I would say probably in terms of the research, it's probably the most effective.
Is that because you apply the bandaging, more tightly as you go through the areas where you know you need that? Or?
Yes.
Okay.
And I found that when I was doing my own bandaging, I would try to make it pretty much as tight as I could stand it. I remember one night I put it on. I was wrapping myself a lot by the end of my treatment, and I had several nights that I would really do it fairly tight. It was so uncomfortable. But the next morning, I really felt like I almost got rid of it.
Is there a liability in doing it too tight? Can you get an infection? Or?
Yeah, I think it's not good to do it too tight.
Okay.
I think you can maybe affect the circulation.
So if the bandage was so smart that it knew how tight to be.
Yep.
And that it released itself when it was too tight and it tightened itself when it was too loose, that would be a good...
Or even if I had a way to control it, that there must be somehow a better way to make this more, maybe to make it look better, to make it provide a little bit more custom pressure.
From measurement, understanding the problem, to treating the problem, to maintaining the problem.
I think that's
true. And with something you didn't have to wear all day.
Well, if I didn't have to wear it at work, that would be huge.
Yeah.
I think I was telling you I work with prisoners.
Yeah.
I'm a prison doctor. So I don't want to...
You have enough to worry about with
I don't really want to reveal anything about my personal life, especially like breast cancer. But yes, I think that would be optimal to have something that could measure and diagnose the lymphedema, something that maybe would assist in fitting a custom sleeve, or maybe this device could also be a sleeve that would provide treatment, and maybe it could also be a sleeve that would maintain that pressure. And I think that's another
target problem.
I think it's very, very common for people to have problem areas that they can never get rid of. So, I don't know. I have a big wish list.
All right, let's stop there.